I could not be free enough to do the thing that I wanted to do. And then I realized, like, oh no, I want to write movies. I want to make movies. I can play with time. I can be like a god in this world. So, and poetry, prose poetry, and so at the point that we made like this deal, I realized like I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I already knew that I wanted to make weird stuff.
Welcome, Herb, to our podcast.
Thank you.
For the record, what is your full name?
Herbert Alfonso Jansen Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have an alias? Do you call yourself by an artist name at all, or?
Yeah, Herbert Alfonso. I feel like that's an artist name.
Okay.
People think that that's my last name, Alfonso. So, yeah. And people call me Herb, Herbie, every kind of word you can make out of Herbert. That's like, but I
Is because I think in one of your email addresses you had Gator. What's this whole thing with the Gator?
Boots van Gators.
Yeah.
Boots van Gators was like there was an alter ego. Still is actually. I still because when I realized that I wanted to make films, when I was younger. I was, of course, like really charmed by all the film festivals, and especially the Cannes Film Festival, because I read a book, King of Cannes. I don't know if you know the book.
No.
It's about a journalist who follows different filmmakers who are going to Cannes, and it's like different storylines. It's like, it really inspired me. I wanted to go to Cannes, and then I thought, like, if I get on a red carpet, I want to have like alligator shoes on it. Like I want to have alligator shoes. I want to wear alligator shoes on the red carpet. I don't know why. That was like I was young, and so somehow Boots van Gators came.
I see.
Yeah.
And did you ever get the chance to go to Cannes? And
Never. We wanted to do like, because it was there was like one storyline about like this. I don't know what kind of. I think they made. I forgot the title of the film, but they were like really guerrilla style. They were going in a van with like this, how you call it, marijuana leaf, like on a van.
yeah.
SLC Punked. You know the movie?
No.
Well,
SLC Punk. No.
yeah, it's like it's yeah, it's a pretty
sort of road movie or so.
No. It's like I think it's I don't know, like I call it this. I don't know. It's not a stoner movie, but kind of like
A Cheech and Chong kind of film.
No, that's more. Yeah, I don't know how to explain the movie, but they were really like promoting it by themselves, and they had people with them who were making pictures, and then other people were like, oh, who are they? You know, they had like this marketing techniques, and they got like this. I think the distributor out of it. You know, like it was a really cool thing that they did.
I see. Okay.
So we always wanted to go to Cannes and do something crazy.
Right.
But we didn't have any money. We didn't had a movie. But still, I remember that we went to the casino, and we were like, we have to go to Cannes, and we have to win money at the casino. It was really close, but yeah, we lost it all, and we never went.
You lost it all.
Yeah, like yeah.
How much did you lose?
I don't know, but I know that there was one moment that everything was set on number 4 at the roulette table. Like everything we had. I don't know why. And then the ball was turning on the table. And then one of my friends decided to put it on a different number.
No.
And then it fell on number 4. And then another friend of mine who was like, he lost it in like the casino. So he was using his dad's credit card, you know, to play blackjack. So we were sitting like, we need to go. This is not good, you know. And then we were sitting on the bench, and seriously, out of nowhere, I saw this chip rolling on the ground, and it went like this, and then this is no lie. I have like witnesses, and it stopped at my feet. It fell like in front of my feet. We had one chip, and then so I was like, okay, we got this is it. This is the moment. You know, this is a defining moment. Like we have to put this on a number. What number is it gonna be? So One person said like 19 because they knew that that's one of my favorite numbers, and other person said 23. So I put it on 21 because it was in the middle. This is no lie. What happened? I have witnesses. I'm not exaggerating. The first number was 19 and the second number was 23.
No kidding.
I swear. I swear.
And was that a sign that you shouldn't go to con?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
So
I didn't go. I never went, and in the course of the years, it's not even it's not important. Like for me, as like let's say the artist that I am now, yeah, it's nice, but I'm not appealed to it like that anymore. It was like you were young, you know.
So you were like a group of ambitious filmmakers who wanted to achieve the dream of becoming.
I wanted to be like a screenwriter, filmmaker. A friend of mine wanted to do like everything with music and audio. Another friend of mine wanted to do the production. So it was like we always call ourselves the Triforce, you know, like
from Nintendo.
Yeah, from the Zelda.
Zelda,
Yeah. So we were like a team, and we dreamt like a team. We never actually did like something together, as in like really put something out.
So you guys went separate ways in terms of your career in the audiovisual business, the film business, or
yeah, like one important moment, because I used to, you know, I'm from Zwolle and hip hop was really big at that time. Still is actually, but at that time really big, and we had a performance, but it got canceled on the spot when we were there, and we were pretty pissed. But then me and this other friend of mine, Ali, we shook our hands, and we promised each other that I would always keep on writing and go for film, and he would always go for music and sound design, whatever. And we till this day we kept our promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you guys collaborated at all since?
Yeah, we collaborated. I'm thinking like, he helped me with the audio for my documentary about Typhoon. We're doing now stuff like he did the audio for the short film that I just finished, and we're gonna do more like projects now. Because now we're like at the age that, you know, we have the experience. We know we know what we want. We know who we are artistically. Now is the time. So life happened, and yeah.
Now getting back together to start working on projects.
Yeah, it's still no Triforce, but at least it's like, you know.
What happened to the third person, the producer?
I don't know where he is now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know where he lives, but I don't know what he's doing. But he had the talent to be like I think he had the talent to be a good producer, but he didn't went that route. Like, not really, you know. So.
Okay. Did you get a chance to go to any film festivals since?
Oh, film festival? Yeah. I went to with my work, or just in general.
Oh, both.
Yeah, I actually started going to film festivals not too long ago, because I didn't felt connected to the industry somehow. So in the last couple of years, that went really fast. That, you know, like I went to the Berlin Film Festival as a visitor. But a lot of festivals that I went were just the Dutch festivals. Yeah, I never understood why I should go, besides the fact that to watch movies. But then again, I really lived like the artist life, like the deadbeat artist life. So yeah, why should I spend that much money to watch movies if I can find them somewhere else?
Okay. And you call yourself an artist. You call yourself also a filmmaker, or what would you call yourself?
How I would call myself?
Yeah, what would you refer yourself to?
I refer myself to as an artist.
As an artist.
Yeah, but then again, like if but within that I'm a filmmaker. I'm a photographer. I do visual arts, like as in like, you know, drawing or sculpting or mixed media. So it's sometimes difficult to it depends where you are that you define yourself in a certain way. But I feel like an artist,
Okay.
and it makes and if I make a film, that term helps me to feel the freedom that I have as an artist. If that's how I am. If I define myself as a filmmaker, then I feel like there's rules to it. If I define myself as an artist, then all the rules disappear, and I can just make something that's truly from the heart. And it could be that it's like traditional, that it's a traditional documentary or a traditional screenplay or whatever. But still, I need that freedom in order to make something that's authentic to who I am.
Right. Do you recall the first time that you saw yourself as an artist? Was there a moment that you really felt like, nah, I'm an artist?
Yeah, there should be a moment. I mean,
Because did you go to before you answer that?
which one? The question.
Yes. Was your career always going towards that direction, or when you were going to school, there was another path open for you?
I have to answer that question.
Yeah.
I made that deal with a friend of mine, and I knew I wanted to be a actually, I wanted to be a screenwriter. Okay, this is a bit of a story. Like in 2003, I like on a certain day, I realized that I lost every memory of the year before. So I never told anyone. I was like, whoa, this is weird. I used to smoke a lot at that time also, but like, this is weird. So I don't want to lose any memory ever again. So I bought a notebook to write everything down. If somebody said something interesting, I would write it down. I would say like, wait, let me write it down. I always had to carry a camera with me, because if something happens, whatever, I wanted to capture it.
So you lost a whole year or so. You felt like
and the only thing I had was music and pictures. So that could somehow tell me like, okay, this, you know. So actually, like the whole thing where art really got important was like born out of a kind of a conflict thing. And then my love for movies. I had love for movies, but like the realization that music is too, I don't know, like structured. I could not be free enough to do the thing that I wanted to do. And then I realized like, oh no, I want to write movies. I want to make movies. I can play with time. I can be like a god in this world. So, and poetry, prose poetry. And so at the point that we made like this deal, I realized like I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I already knew that I wanted to make weird stuff. So I wanted to make like movies that maybe, if you would dream, you know, people would dream like, yeah, I hope millions of people would watch my movie. And I always told myself and other people like, I don't want to make movies that a million people like. I want to make movies that thousands of people, thousand more. How you call it? Like thousands of people like, but they are really like invested in it, you know, like really like as if it's
true fans.
Yeah, like as if it's an art piece. And like I wanted to make something like that. So I wanted to go to the film academy, but I didn't have like the, I don't know, like the
portfolio.
Yeah, I made one like short movie or something, sent it in for a contest, but that was it, and it was really raw. So I went to the open dag, the open day, and when I was sitting there, I realized like, no, this is the industry. I don't want to be like this screw in this big machine. So I was actually like turned off, and I applied for a Rietveld Academy because they had built in taal. So I was like, oh, I think I can be free in that course to discover who I am as an artist. And then I went to Rietveld. I was accepted because of my photography, I believe, and they were impressed by the notebooks that I had. Like I have like 500 notebooks now, you know, like
Wow.
it never stopped. And I got accepted, and but. And I thought that everybody, if people would talk about Rietveld, they would say like, yeah, there's a lot of like, I don't know, how do you say, like zweverige luidjes? Like, let's say people who are more out of the box, like out of the, like not your normal people. That's what people would say about like the students of Rietveld.
That's what they would expect.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, cool, this is gonna be home.
Yeah.
But I felt like an outcast, like the whole year, and I felt like the Build and Taal. It was the second year that they did it. I just didn't. I couldn't see what it was going to do for me, and I fell in love with photography because like I was doing street photography without knowing that was a thing. But I fell in love with it. I was afraid to tell like I don't know who I had to tell that I wanted to change the course, like my richting, the course,
Right.
From Build and Taal to photography. And
Was that possible at?
I think it was possible. I don't know why I think I had like this imposter syndrome that I got accepted for Build and Taal, but if I was not doing that, maybe I was not accepted. You know, because you say that in the application that which direction you want to go.
Right.
So I didn't want to mess that up. But then again, I quit after a year. Kind of in style, like I didn't put up any work because you have to show your work that you did the whole year, but I didn't. Actually, I accidentally found out that day was that it was that day that you had to show your stuff. I accidentally found out, and then I wrote a prose where I explained like why I want to quit the school and why it's not for me, and why I need to discover my path on my own. But still, I felt like I wanted to be the filmmaker, but photography would be the thing that would help me to have more of a, sense for composition and stuff. And and I worked at a video store, so that helped also, like getting like the movies and the information or whatever. And I think a year after that, a couple of friends of mine who are artists, like musical artists, hip hop artists, they decided to turn into a collective, and they produced an album, Fucking Brigade, and three of those artists still are the biggest hip hop artists of the history of Dutch hip hop.
Oh wow! What's the name of the album again?
The album, the collective, the name of the collective is Fucking Brigade.
Oh, this collective, okay.
And like Typhoon was part of it, who's big in Holland, and Rico and Stix, who are from Zwolle, were part of it. And then one of my best friends was the producer. It's the same person that I shook hands with, so that was also a collaboration because I convinced them to, it was in the middle. I convinced them, and they wanted me to follow them on their tour as a photographer. So after I quit school, a year after I was doing that, and I decided to say yes to everything, because I quit school. The time that I'm spending with these artists and the opportunities that I get, I need to take. I need to
take advantage of.
Yeah, and take on everything. So even if I never done it, I'm gonna say yes. So we were at Eastpak. Do you know how to design bags? Yes. So could you design this bag? Yeah, cool. So I got the bag and I don't know, did something with it. Do you shoot music videos? Yes. The only music video I did was like in high school or something. So I knew like, okay, you have to mimic, like play back and make sure that the sound, you put the sound under it. That's the only thing I knew. But I said yes, and I made a music video for Stix, Stijgers en Draken, and for that time it went viral. and then actually things kept rolling, and still I saw my time with these artists as school. They were known, so I could just experiment, and people would be already happy that there was something out, that there was music out from these artists. So I took use of that. Every music video I tried something different, and it was always documentary minded. So I knew I was there at the studio sessions because they taped it at my friend's house, and we were always there. And if I would hear a song that I liked, I was like, "Hey, let's go, let's do this song, let's go outside, let's like really freestyle actually." And then just I call it develop my editing skills the way I wanted it to be. So, and still in my head, I wanted to still, like, I wanted to be the filmmaker. Still wanted to be that filmmaker, but this was school for me. I had to do things that that were not directly like a thing for film, for like traditional filmmaking, but it would be things that that helped me sharpen my skills. And during the time I started like following one of the artists, I was filming him, and it was Typhoon. And after a few years, I was pretty much done with the music industry. Did a lot of music videos. I think I did one every month.
Wow.
I did I did the album covers, and I did a lot of things. But after that stuff, I kept filming stuff with Typhoon.
So that's pretty interesting because you were lucky that at the time in Zwolle there happened to be a music movement happening. Was there anything else going on in Zwolle? I mean, besides yourself and maybe some other artists that was part of this movement. What do you think spurred this on? Because I mean, outside of hip hop, what is Zwolle known for in terms of art or music? Or
I don't know, Herman Brood.
is he from Zwolle?
Yeah. He's connected with Zwolle. I always think, like, is he really from Zwolle? But he's connected to the city. I mean, we have a Herman Brood museum. I mean, like, he's connected to the city. He lived in Zwolle, I guess. But like,
of course, you had the famous pianist
Jan Veen.
Jan Veen, right? But
yeah, but it's like, for me, for the time that I grew up in Zwolle,
right,
my generation,
yeah,
like hip hop was the biggest thing.
Okay,
like Opgezwollen was the biggest thing.
But was there something else around it that helped it to grow? I mean,
no, they did it by themselves.
Okay, but there was no other artist movements happening in terms of.
Because it was not on my radar.
Okay, because they had you as a filmmaker, photographer.
Yeah, but it was later.
Like, okay, I see.
Yeah, so you had the Opgezwollen phase, and then we were and me and my friend were making music and whatever, and maybe a few other people, I guess, and then like years later, they started the collective when Opgezwollen wasn't, like, it was done. Opgezwollen didn't exist anymore, so and everybody was like, I don't know, going. It was like in the end 20s. No, yeah, something like later. I think like begin 30s. Like yeah, so it was a different phase, and I don't know if I think like what was happening in Zwolle besides soccer. Like sports and stuff, but like artists, no, we were focused on hip hop.
Okay, because like, how do you feel? Because you still live in Zwolle, right?
Yeah.
What's it like to be an artist in Zwolle compared to? It's tough.
I find it tough. Zwolle is not like diverse, so I find it tough. Like a friend of mine, like he's Dutch, but we were talking about like he's a filmmaker as well, experimental film. And we came to the conclusion that you have to be really crazy to be an artist and live in Zwolle. But the fun thing is that was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, and actually things are changing. in a certain way. Like we have our own theater. Like we can show movies on 35, 16, 8 or digital. Like we, it's not that we own it, but we can do anything there. And there's a lot of things happening. So Zwolle is still figuring itself out. So there's space to develop into a city like no other, I guess. But it's tough. It's tough. Zwolle is tough.
Do you see yourself part of that's helping to change that, or are you just riding the wave? You just
no.
happen to-
I feel like I'm part of it. Like these things happen because we have talks, and those talks that we have comes from a passion. You want it to happen. I love the Randstad, but I'm not a Randstad guy. You know, I have a different way of thinking. I want to be this person, and I want to create these things from the place that I know and hate, love and hate at the same time. So we have to work for that.
and that's what keeps you still in Zwolle then. Have you thought about moving out?
Well, I have this cousin, and my cousin told me like way back, like everybody who leaves Zwolle leaves, like it's like they have a bungee cord on and they just end up back in the city. And it's true. I always say that. Like I always quote that. Like it feels that way. I lived in Amsterdam. I lived in Berlin, and it's not my choice.
Get back to Zwolle, yeah.
Yeah, but I totally see the challenge, and I see the openings, and I see the possibility to be the artist that I want to be, and use that city as a trampoline, I'm yeah.
So even if you would say, let's say you got big nationally or internationally, you would still stay in Zwolle, you think? That would be your home base, no matter how big you might get in the future?
I don't know. I don't want to challenge life in that. Like, I don't know. But for now, it would be really weird to leave Zwolle. It's weird for me to say. But for now, it's like, no, there are things happening that you cannot, that I would not know where, at least in this country, where I could do that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that, because you happen to also be part of the documentary Impact Challenge that is funded by the MDT program in the Netherlands. And you're going to start a special training program for documentary filmmakers. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, we're gonna do like an analog chapter of it. So we're gonna use analog equipment, as in photography and film, in order to make like documentary minded work from an analog perspective. So it's if we're thinking about like the film, 8mm film, that's what we're gonna do, and just 35mm on a photo camera. Like the 8mm film without sound, it makes you need to understand image, understand how you can tell stories without a narrative that you would normally do. We want to challenge, not challenge, but we want to figure out with the participants, what kind of artist are you? And go step by step through going through a process that starts with photography and ends up with filmmaking, and ends up with making a film on a 8mm film roll that is 50 meters, and that I think that's 3 minutes and I don't know how many seconds, and making film in the camera. So no editing on the computer, no computers, just preparation, patience, and develop a feel for imagery and the art in filmmaking. So our chapter um, is really focused on the art in filmmaking and in an analog way.
Okay. And you're saying that Zwolle is given that opportunity for that kind of training program to happen. It was,
Well, MDT is giving the opportunity to do the
as,
workshops, but
of
then
course.
when we're doing the workshops, there's like this community already developing. Like we have this place where all the artists uh, come and meet once in a month, where it's about like filmmaking. And so in Zwolle, when I grew up, it was really like little islands, and you would not know that this person was doing something and that other person was doing something. But now we have like the center where everybody comes together, and we have like a drink every month and talk about like the film world. And we also have like an experimental film thing every month, where we are going to this theater, that like our theater, where that is organized by a friend of mine, where we watch experimental film on film. So he rents it from Paris, and he's really deep into that world, and he and people are like I call it, they get to know film in a totally different way, because still it has like a documentary perspective to it, but it's used differently. And a lot of people don't even know that this whole experimental thing exists. And the feeling of film, it's just a different medium and different experience when you experience it in a theater. So those connections to do the workshop and also have a place to show it in a way that you should see it. Yeah, that's cool. It's like it feels like there's this platform building up. Yeah, and Zwolle is not the biggest city, so it's gonna be a part of the character of that city. It's gonna grow. So yeah, it's not. It's just like the hip hop thing. I saw it from the beginning. It's nice to see it grow, and I have the same feeling with this. I have the same feeling with this. Like we have some nice filmmakers, animators in Zwolle. Yeah.
Besides the training program that you're going to be part of, what else are you working on?
Now, I'm just finished a short film. Polycora. So that's yeah, I call it video jazz. Like
What's the title mean, by the way?
well, I took I took polyrhythm. So actually, it's like the complicity. The how do I tell this short? Like the complexity of like layering. It's like polyrhythm is like you have like the master drum and you have the slave drums, and they all react to the master drums. You have different rhythms, like as in drum rhythms that communicate with each other. And I'm actually doing that with images, but I'm also letting the rhythm go, which gives it more of. I feel more like as a jazz artist who is using images that I shot in the shrines of Ghana, where they were like doing like rituals, or we were like doing research for West African spirituality and polyrhythm, and the things that I saw and the things that I learned, I put in as a maker to create a short film, which is more of a poetic film than a film with a narrative that tells something about like what I did there. No, what you see, the experience is what I learned from it. So Polycora, yeah, poly is from polyrhythm, and cora is like I think a Greek word or Latin, whatever, and it's about like the place where everything derives from, like like let's say the nothingness.
Is it the source or so? Or the
Yeah, well, it's a source, but it's not like it's a space. Like um, you have to have nothing mm, nothing as a concept in order to build something.
Hmm.
Something is not just there. There has to be nothing in order to.
I mean, to fill it or so.
Sorry.
If you have nothing, then it needs to be filled.
No, it doesn't need to be filled, but the thing that you're filling with,
Hmm.
it comes from somewhere. There's the layer beneath it. We call it nothing, as if it, but not. But I'm not talking about nothing as in something that doesn't exist. I'm talking about nothing as a. Yeah, in Dutch is way easier. I mean nothing as as really like
In terms of meaning, like it doesn't mean much, or
no, as like the first layer. So you need nothing in order to um create something. There's no something without nothing, and then nothing is a concept. It's not like it. Nothing exists.
no, okay, nothing exists, and therefore it's something.
Yeah.
I see. And you call this type of genre that you're working on video jazz, right?
Yeah.
And is this is a genre that um, exists outside of your work, or is this something unique to your work
Well,
that you're?
I guess you could take some experimental movies, I guess, and talk to the filmmaker, and then realize like, oh, okay, but that's video jazz, you know. But it's not a term that gets stamped on
Okay.
work. I I felt like I'm doing video jazz, but I'm not saying that the way I work that's unique.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels mine,
Right.
you know. It is authentic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like copying anything. It's really what comes out, and it takes time to to finish like a production like that. It feels.
And so the short film is. Can we see it somewhere soon, or like how far are you
Not
in
yet.
production?
Not yet. I had like this. Let's say a study of this film that was on a Dutch film festival. But that wasn't the end result. So I just finished it. So now I'm gonna send it in to other festivals. Actually, as a new movie, but because it's totally different than the study that I made. In a sense, so it has to go. It will go to that go that route, and then then I don't like the idea of putting things like on the internet or something. I'm old school. I like it's just like people like records.
Yeah.
I just I like Blu-ray. Like I like Criterion Collection. I like having something in my hand, and so I really want to do something like have
Tangible.
a physical, yeah. But I have to see. I just finished this, and let's go, through the film festival route and see how that turns out. Besides that, I'm busy with a feature film, like just done writing like the first draft. I got like a development money from the Film Fonds a few years back, but yeah. So I'm busy with that, and I got funding from Zwolle in order to experiment and develop like a hybrid documentary about like this. I don't know. It started out with the shortcoming of diversity in the let's say the art culture of Zwolle, and then I realized like it has to be more personal. Like it has to be. I have to use this to completely show my voice as a visual maker. Like, so I have like the opportunity to do it really in any way I want. So I'm working on that as well.
these two projects, are they also going to be under the genre or the form of video jazz?
Yeah, I feel like the feature film, I don't think so. Um, because it's just because the story the story, it doesn't fit the story. It will have elements in it, but it would not. I would not call it like a video jazz film. But the other thing that where I got the funding from Zwolle,
Documentary?
yeah, the hybrid documentary, that would video jazz would be a big part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got basically 3 big projects on your plate for this year.
Yeah, if you count the MDT with it. Yeah. Well, I feel like 2, because the feature film would be next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
But you're still working on the script, right? You're still working
Yeah, because there's
in
some
the pre-production, probably.
something changed. Something changed where I felt like, oh, I want to shoot the film in this particular location, in one location, so I have to change my draft.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And these going to be projects in Zwolle for the most part, or do you film someplace outside of Zwolle for your feature film?
Well, normally the feature film was supposed to be in Zwolle, but then I realized, like, yeah, I don't know. Did you see the movie The Trial from Orson Welles?
Yes, yeah. It was a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah, so I love that movie. It's like one of my favorite movies. And I just realized, like, yeah, but it would be much cooler to have this big, like, let's say, building, and just call it Zwolle, and put the town in that building, like, poetically, like have these rooms that stand for something. Because I wanted to shoot it in Zwolle, because I always feel like Zwolle has like this blueprint on how the world kind of works. And I always had to think about the trial, because it's about the system, you know.
You make me also think of
Dogville, and somehow, not in a literal sense, but I also have to think always about the Charlie Kaufman film, like Synecdoche. I think you say it differently. New York, about the artist who wants to make New York in a warehouse, like in a
yes, yeah.
So just creating your own interpretation of the city. So now I feel like I could do it anywhere if the city doesn't cooperate in a way, or I like to have the control, because if you have funding for a feature film and you have to change locations, there's a lot of money going into it.
Right.
But if I have this location for a long time, then I can experiment.
Yeah.
Then I can still have this, maybe the video jazz mind state, not as of, let's say, the video jazz artist mind state, as in, like, I can experiment, I can look how this works, how that works. I don't have to be like too precise. I can figure things out. You have to have like this core team that likes to work that way.
Right.
So yeah.
So basically, you need like a film studio to work in, or some kind of
that's the
big space that you can just put all your energy into, and
that's the realistic dream.
Art direction and such.
Yeah. I'm really working on it. There are some options. Well, I'm not saying, I don't want to jinx it, but there should be options in Zwolle, but you never know with Zwolle. So
okay.
But it feels like the film should be that way, so that it gave me freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to let the audience know about yourself, that you think that people don't know about you, that maybe people know you from your work, but because you were once a basketball player, right? Do you still play basketball?
Yeah, I did 2 days ago, and now I cannot walk normally.
Oh.
I not as much, but every day, because I watch it every day. Like I think about, like, oh man, I should just get in shape. But yeah, I'm thinking this every day for the last 15 years or something. That was the last time I played basketball for fun, but with a team.
Did you play professionally? Did you get to that level?
Yeah. I played professionally, internationally. Yeah. No,
For what
I
team?
sorry.
For what team?
I played for Landstede, Zwolle, and I played for Den Helder. At that time, it was called Noordkop Den Helder, and I played for the like and also for the Dutch selection team, like for the like Jong Oranje, and I never reached the like the how you call it, like the adult Oranje team, but I was like in the front selection or whatever. Like,
Okay.
no, I did pretty well for a small guy. Like, yeah,
What was your position?
they put me on point guard, but I felt like I was more of a shooting guard. Like, but I was a point guard. Yeah, yeah. Like I was too small for all these other positions. And now, if I would do it now, I would be small anyway. Like it changed. The game has
Right.
changed.
How come you never stayed in the sport arena in terms like maybe coaching or something like that?
Politics.
Politics.
Yeah.
Explain that.
I don't. I just yeah. As soon as like I was like I was a, let's say professional when I was 17. I always had dreams, but then I saw that, like the politics behind it. Like if they, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how hard you train. It doesn't matter if you would kill everybody on the court. If they pay certain people that amount of money that they should play, and you're just you should be on the bench or whatever. I felt like that. Like there was so many things happening that it was just not fun anymore, because you're really giving up a lot of things in order to play the game. And at a certain point, you see all your friends living life, and it's not that that lured me, but it's like the game was not giving me what it used to give when I was just when I was younger. Because it was a beautiful experience, and I learned a lot, and I think I still have like certain things in my way of doing that I learned from that time, but it didn't. At a certain point, it was just too weird. It was too weird how things worked. That I was like in let's say the front selection of the Dutch national team, and then when the coaches would come, the coach wouldn't play me or something like that. Like because like I was not. I was actually an outsider in another team, so yeah, it was just weird. But besides that, I had a beautiful experience. I went to the first youth Olympic Games ever. Like I played like the Euro Cup. I did cool things. Like yeah. And to see how it grew in Zwolle now, because you have a basketball school, and it's
really?
like it's really a big thing. And also with that with the whole basketball thing, I saw it also. I was there where it where it happened, and I was part of it. I was part of that start of all these things.
And so now you're hoping the same thing will happen with art and filmmaking in Zwolle.
It's gonna happen. It's happening already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's like we're already proud that there's one filmmaker, Douwe Dijkstra, who had this film last year in the front. I got it in. It wasn't selected for the Oscars, but it was in the
Nominated?
It was like before the real nomination.
Right.
You have like this other list. Like,
Okay,
it was part of it. It's guys from Zwolle. I mean,
nice.
and it's also a really great movie. Buurman Abdi. It's like really creative. It's a filmmaker's film. It's happening. We're doing stuff. Like. Yeah, this is the beginning of something really unique and beautiful, and to connect like this MDT thing to that, it's cool. Like, yeah, it makes me a proud Zwollenaar for a person who always hate on the city. Like, it's nice to be proud of something. Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Well, with that, we'll end the interview. And thank you very much for coming for this our little small podcast.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be seeing people come to your course and having a great experience and meeting people there, other artists and such, and getting to show their little mini documentaries on the big screen.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.